Well, let me let everybody know that I'm live. All right. Switch. All right. Now that that's out, welcome back to the channel. Thanks everybody for joining. And tonight's live stream is just gonna be a chatting session. I have a headache and I really don't feel like doing anything too intensive. So we're just gonna hang out, chill, and chat today. As well as doing some 3D printing. From yesterday's video, you heard that I'm addicted. I really am, especially when it comes to printing 3D objects like this cute little dragon here. Not sure if you can see him in my hand. Let me
Someone's marathon training is about to start. Sell your workout
focus.
On Depop. Just snap a few photos and we'll take care of the rest. They get their race day fit and
Yeah.
pay out for trying.
That, and also I've been trying to organize all my stuff with 3D printers, like adding these like tags for so I know when I need to order new filament, what filament I need to order. As well as something came in the mail today that I didn't expect that was going to be in the mail. Hey Rashid, how you doing? Welcome back to the live stream. Can install this. It's called the Panda Breath. Basically, what this will do is will turn the chamber in a P1S into like a, so I can heat it up, so I can print materials such as ASA and ABS without it, or with minimalized warping effect, because those filaments, they need to have a specific temperature that's set in the in like the chamber in order for them to actually not warp. So, and it comes with a HEPA filter as well. So even when I'm printing PLA, I can use the HEPA filter to filter out all the harmful VOCs. I also updated the filter inside the chamber to a carbon fiber and a HEPA filter, so we have that as well. So as you can see, I have Bamboo Slicer or Studio in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, and I want to go ahead and print some. Like I said in yesterday's video, my coworkers love that dragon that I printed, so I'm going to print a couple more. And while we're doing that, we're going to actually, why don't I switch this over to so you can see exactly what I'm doing. All right, so we're in the Bamboo Studio app. So let's see here. So this is this model right here, the Embling Mini Dragon. No, that's not the right model. I want the one that's multicolor. I think I got it now. There we go. So basically, I'll just cut off top part for now. But anyways, You come over here, you select the colors that you want to print. Right now I have green, red, the silk color, silk yellow. It's called sunset yellow from Bamboo Labs, as well as black. And I want to do black for the eyes. Every time you do a multicolor, you do have to print one of these towers. It's called a purge tower. So go ahead and slice the plate because we got to. I'll show you up here what that's doing. And generally, I'm upstairs right now. I'm not going to be able to keep an eye in the 3D printer. I like to keep an eye at least on the first couple layers of the print, particularly because you want to get a good first layer. If your first layer does not go down well, you're going to have to redo this again. Actually, I think I got the wrong. See, do I have the right one? Oh yeah, it's all right. So this is only going to take about 5 hours and 53 minutes. So it's going to be about 6 hours. So we're talking about being done around midnight tonight for these two little dragons. I was going to print 2 of them out for right now. So now we go over print plate. And then not sure it shows you here. No, it doesn't. For some reason, it's not showing you. It's not showing the next screen where I select the colors, but it's the 4 colors that I said I was going to print in. So we're just going to go ahead and hit print. And it should be slicing and sending its job wirelessly to the 3D printer. And the music, by the way, is from Stream Beats. Stream Beats is supposed to be royalty-free, YouTube. So now it's getting us over here so we can hit the play button and we can see what's going on inside our printer. Printer is currently busy. Yes, I know the printer is currently busy. It's still downloading. That's what it's doing. All right, let's just switch back. Actually, I'll keep it on this screen until I'm happy with the first layer. Let's go to. But anyways, what is going on? What do I want to do? Well, I'm thinking I'm going to cut back on live streaming. I know it's something that some of you may not necessarily like. However, I want to focus primarily more on videos than streaming. So I'm thinking of doing one gaming stream probably on Sunday afternoon. And maybe one additional live stream, such as 3D printing. And that way there I can get a couple of videos out. I'm just burning myself out trying to stream 3 different times a day. Also, when there is a stream that I'm planning on doing, there's not going to be a video that day. So that way there, I don't have to worry the night before, I got to get a video out on Sunday morning or Friday morning and whatnot. So that's what's going to be happening, as well as the I'm thinking the classic Joe's Bits and Bobs, where since the weather's getting nicer, I'll be going out on a walk and giving you my opinions on certain items in the technology space. So that's what I plan on doing there. So yeah, I mean, that's mainly what I want to do. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to continue and I'm going to try to grow the channel and the other channel as well, the Joe's Gaming channel. Right right now, I just want to get to 5,000 subs on this channel. So I'm going to try and upload a video at least maybe once a week on that channel. Again, uh, at the end, it's also like at the end of the month is the 1 year anniversary when my mother passed away. And it's been hard. It's coming up faster than I realize. And it's just, I still can't believe it. But I know I got to go on. I got to move on. So I got to get myself busy, get myself off of the topic of the fact of the passing of my mother. I mean, I know she would be proud of me. I know she would be delighted to see that I'm getting involved in the 3D printing again. In fact, if I were to after the first layer, I'll go downstairs, get a couple more 3D prints. I also have a prototype here. Eventually, I'm trying to also learn CAD. So I printed this little piece right here to see if it will fit perfectly. It does fit perfectly over this battery. Eventually, I want to make a bracket so I can hang these batteries on the wall. And I've never done like serious CAD work such as Onshape, and I want to learn Onshape. You got a lot more tools than Tinkercad. This is from Tinkercad. I want to plug my headphones in under my desk, so I want to mount a 3mm headphone jack under there, and this is what's going to allow me to do that. This is a headphone holder. Yeah, I've been pumping out 3D prints like daily. I mean, it's so addictive. So I'm like thinking, yeah, why don't I think about purchasing a model or two on like Maker World or Printables or wherever you can purchase models so you can use it towards your business. As well as I want to create coasters. I think I can create coasters pretty easily. The artistic side of me, I'm not great. I'm going to admit to that right away. I mean, I could trace like this in CAD, but if I were to try to draw like a dragon or something like that, I'm not good at that. I'm not good at Blender. So I'm just going to search the internet for good models to print and models that, people will be interested in purchasing. And if you're interested in me printing something, let me know down in the comment section down below or even in chat. What's up, Dotard76? Yeah, I love 3D printing. And also over the week, I have technically considered trade school. I mean, if they have a class for like say learning CAD, yeah, I'll be interested in that. But I was also going to say past week I learned that there's a couple of states that want to regulate 3D printing. And those are Washington State, Colorado, New York, and I think even California. They all want to regulate purchasing of 3D printers or even their software or firmware. So in New York, where I live, what they're trying to do, our governor, they're trying to make it so you have to show your identification when you buy a 3D printer. And you got to get a background check and stuff like that. And I'm like thinking, it's all right. I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind asking. I mean, yeah. I mean, if there is a program for CAD, I'd be interested. I'll have to look out and branch out. But also, I know on YouTube, there's also some specific channels that can help with CAD, like Teaching Tech. He's good in like Onshape and stuff like that. So I'm right now looking at the first layer on the 3D print to see if one thing bad about this camera on the Bamboo Labs is it's only I can only it's a half a frame per second camera, and I believe it's 720p. So I can't 100% see what's necessarily going on, other than the fact that, you know, within like a half second or so, you'll know whether or not your print's going to be a success or if it's going to be not a success. So I'm kind of worried. Looking here, it looks like there might be a couple blobs forming. I hope not. So keep our fingers crossed that I don't have to go downstairs and fix that, because if I do, that's going to be a pain. But anyways, onto the subject with the Kathy Hochul and all these other states wanting to regulate 3D printing. And it's not just certain states, even the federal government wants to ban like 3D printers from, you know, how they did with the routers from foreign countries. They want to do the same thing with 3D printers. And I'm like saying that basically says all of them. Looks of the first layer so far. Keep our fingers crossed. I think it's going back. I think it's done there. It's changing the color. We'll see what happens on the second layer, because that's when we'll know whether or not that the first layer is a success. Not really. I mean, right now I have to be here because my doctor wants someone with my father to keep an eye on him. So I'm kind of stuck here right now. But I mean, any other state I would probably go to, Pennsylvania, Florida, wherever you can go where, you know, you don't have the government breathing down the back for everything you do. And especially when it comes to certain manufacturers. FlashForge, for example, apparently they were spying on people's printers, and they called the police on someone because they had concerns on some parts that were being printed. Now, they only knew that because of these built-in cameras. So that was FlashForge, and I'm like thinking, so if FlashForge is doing that, that means that's one printer company I am going to be avoiding, is FlashForge. I know Bamboo Labs, their software is I hear you there. He's the Bamboo Labs. Their software is locked down and stuff like that. But as far as I know, right now they're not spying on what you're printing, and they're not calling, you know, the FBI on you or whatnot. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about Michigan. I mean, maybe Michigan would be great too. Uh, Actually, I come to think about the one company that or the channel that I was going to shout out on on in that video yesterday. It's called The Glorious Geeks. I mean, he's he's getting new into the 3D printing channel or 3D printing industry, or at least that I know of. I mean, he could have been doing 3D printing for a while. I mean, a lot longer than I have, at least. But he's a channel I came across, and I'm like, he seems like a nice, chill channel to hang out around and see what's going on, and all the technology that they have 3D printing is just amazing. No. So, yeah, I got the Panda Breath. I want to install that, but I gotta print a couple of parts to actually get the basically what's happening. Actually, show it to you. Basically, with the Panda Breath, they have this power cable, and it goes to the top of your 3D printer enclosure. And what happens is that you got to print a like a riser to have the power cable go on the outside. So I have to print a riser to have that happen, and that goes into both the Panda Breath as well as your power supply that's hooked up to the hooked up to your printer, and then this just goes into that one cable. And I'm like thinking, couldn't they have just made this one? And I mean, I know how to I mean, I'll have to figure out what cable goes where, but I'm pretty okay with, finding those cables. I got a digital a voltmeter or ohms meter, and I wouldn't mind hooking up directly to the printer's power port, so that way there I don't have to print an additional piece. But even though I was additionally going to print an additional piece anyways, because I want to actually print a bigger, like what they call a hoop shoot, because every time these printers change filament, they purge filament out of the back of the 3D printer. And so I was thinking, maybe that'll be better. How you doing? Welcome to the live stream. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely getting involved in the 3D printing. It's actually pretty fun, pretty neat. And I'm thinking if I get into like FPV, like drones, maybe even I can print my own drone frame, like for a 5-inch quad or something like that. I know I'll have to print it out of a material that's not PLA or PETG. You'll have to be more of a rigid plastic. Like, I'm not even sure if I'd print it out of ABS, but maybe I'll print it more out of like ASA or something like that. I mean, right now I'm looking at the 3D print right now. It looks looking okay. Let's just keep our fingers crossed that the next filament change, that the first layer, especially where the feet of the dragons are at, lays down pretty nice. Like I said, when the first time I was trying to print, no, go back. First time I was trying to print this guy, one of his legs actually got detached from the bed on the first layer. And I was like, oh no. I was like, it's broken. But yeah, I'm definitely thinking about buying models and stuff like that. And when I learn about CAD, because I am actually learning quite a bit from YouTube channels. Would you be interested? I mean, maybe I can actually do a series on that of Joe learning CAD to create certain parts. Like, I still want to create something for my Stream Deck so they're more connected, even though technically they're not. I'm still like questioning that red. The blobs. I know this camera that's in the corner of the 3D printer. It also looks like it also makes the filament look worse than what it is. So let's just keep our fingers crossed, like I said. Another thing is when you have the poop collecting buckets, or the poop chutes, what they call it, on Bamboo Labs, on the Maker World, you got to make sure that they're not jamming that chute, because if that chute in the back gets jammed, that could knock off your front cover of your fan shroud. So, but yeah, I'm thinking of, at least for the gaming aspect, for the live streams, going down to one live stream per week for gaming. Maybe we'll do like a fortnight, or maybe it'll be even a longer stream. Maybe instead of like 2 hours, it'll be like 3 hours. Just so, I don't know. I'm thinking of it because I'm like looking at analytics and stuff like that, and get maximum maybe 8 people in here. And I mean, I'd like to grow. I'd like to get better at this. I know it may seem like I'm giving up, but not really, not yet. I mean, I'm going to give it some time. I mean, we're on layer 2 right here, so let me go ahead and put that back there. I don't have a dedicated button for the Stream Deck, and with having the Stream Deck with some certain shortcut keys, I could probably actually program shortcut keys. And I think that's going to be the most difficult thing about learning about CAD is the shortcuts. So I could probably program the shortcut keys right into the Stream Deck and use that instead of, trying to learn outright in like one video or something like that. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. Are you going to work? Are you going to work? I think when it switches back to red after the green, after this upcoming color swap, we'll find out if this is going to be a success, or are we going to have be a little bit, more cautious. In fact, I'm probably going to slow it down just a little bit. I just noticed that the slower you go for at least the first couple layers as well, also dictates whether or not your 3D print's going to be a success, or if it's going to come off the build plate. Yeah, I had a headache before starting. That's why I was like, you know what? Let's just get this done now and over with so I can, go rest up. So we'll continue to around like 7 o'clock, and after this 3D print, I'm going to print out the riser for the bamboo, or for the Panda Breath, and I'll make a video on that of it and of me installing it and everything like that. Oh yeah, yeah. Just tired today. But yeah. Again, if you wanted me to print something, let me know. Yeah, now it says it's going to be 11 hours, but I'm going to not make sure it's going to be 11 hours. It's going to be faster than that. I just want to have the best chance of this guy sticking to the bed. And I'm thinking after either layer 4, maybe even layer 5, that's when I'll probably put it back up to 100%. I should probably make a separate printing profile for like delicates, like keychains, like this articulating 3D print. They have a bigger dragon as well. I want to print him, but like I said, I need to join his Patreon in order for me to sell the dragon, and then when I get on eBay, I'll let you know. So you can buy 3D prints off me. Now, I don't think I want to print it in PLA for long term, especially if it's like for keychains and stuff like that. I probably either want to print it in ABS or PETG, just because PETG and ABS are a little bit more tolerant towards heat and UV. PLA, which this product is made from, it's not very good when it comes to heat and UV resistance. So keep it out of a hot car. Don't, leave it on your dashboard on a hot sunny day, because you may come out and see like a Frosty the Snowman scenario in the middle of summer. So PLA is a great filament type, because it is basically it's an organic. It's made out of organic like cornstarch and stuff like that, but it's still a polymer. So at the end of the day, it's still plastic, but it's a lot less toxic than, like, say, any of the other filaments. At least that's what I've been hearing about on YouTube and stuff like that. So, oh yeah, it's looking a lot better. Yeah, I think we got it. But I'm gonna go one or two more layers before I go downstairs, and I'm gonna grab a couple of other prints, and I want to show it to you. Show you how they turned out. Except I have to unhook it. Actually, maybe I can do it. Now, I gotta. Oh, I think I might have to get a new MagSafe charger eventually. It's starting to peel that a little rubber piece. But anyways, I printed this as well. Basically, what it is, it's a MagSafe charger slash dock. However, I notice when I'm printing, when I put my Apple Watch next to the iPhone, I can't have my Apple Watch or iPhone in this direction, which actually I like because of the standby mode. I have to have it like that because they didn't they didn't raise this up a little bit, so I might remix this. So if you are to charge, say, your Apple Watch and your iPhone at the same time, that it would that it will actually play nice when you put it in standby mode. This is a glow in the dark filament. I thought it would look neat, except I don't like this. I noticed that this blue glow in the dark filament from Bambu Labs doesn't really have a strong glow to it. So I was thinking of making light switches, because you can also print faceplates for your light switches or even your wall plugs. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice if, especially if, knock on wood, you live in an area that is prone to power outages. The hallway, there's the beginning of the stairs. But yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying this. I'm actually seeing something. Oop. Gotta exit the Groovy desktop. I'm seeing right here that might be a concern. Let's see, can I? Why? I don't know how to make that full screen. I know how to make a full screen on the Bambu Handy app. One thing I will say as well with Bambu, your Handy app, I love it. But at the same time, there are several things I wish you would do different. For one, I would love it that you would allow like certain profiles to be default.
At Whole Foods Market during the Savor the Tropics event with yellow sale signs highlighting seasonal finds throughout the store. The produce section is
I'll see what happens on this next print, but the dragon that I'm printing in the right by the camera here, especially the back left leg, doesn't look like it's going to be successful. Crossed, but it looking like I might have to call that one. All right, let me turn up the music for you guys a little bit. Again, Stream Beats.
What's cooking? It's your favorite chef, Nick DJ.
And
You ever wonder what it'd be like
royalty-free music, YouTube.
Make a chocolate bar bigger than a basketball court?
Either that or it might be because I have a Z-Hop
Well, I'm doing all
and
of
instead
this
of a
and more
spiral, because I noticed if I had the
Just know it's delicious.
So make sure to go follow. 'cause
if I had the
including
spiral
slow
setting
down. Yes, chef.
on the
Local adventures and useful cooking tips coming your way. Oh, time's up.
on Bambu Studio, when I was printing these tags, the nozzle will collide with the one hinge, and it looks like. Huh. Speaking of nozzles and colliding, this little piece came off of that. Wow. Oh. Yeah. Look at that. Why did that come off? I have no idea. Interesting. Okay. Well, this is all about learning how to 3D print, right? There it is. I fixed it. Little pins came out. I'm not going to touch that right now. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Anyways, how was everybody's Easter? Let's see what happens. Yeah, that happens to be the same back leg. That little blob there with the red filament. The one to the left of him is all right. I do not want to. I mean, I can skip printing that guy and then try printing again later. I don't want to do that. And I just realized that putting a glue stick on these textured PEI beds will actually ruin that texture. So how you doing today? I'm doing some 3D printing. As well as, discussing the future of the channel and live streams. Like, starting next Sunday, I'll be going back to doing at least one gaming live stream. On Friday, I want to have a 3D printing live stream. Like, maybe I'll start off a 3D print. In this case, I got the Emerald Mini Dragon keychain from HoloMaker. So, and I'm just hoping, that's all we can do, that the left rear leg of this first dragon that's printing will hold up. I don't like that little blob right by his toenails. Oh, I should probably go get maybe I need some nail clippers. No. It's right now what the 3D printer is doing is it's switching the filament. I think it's switching back to red. I'm thinking, you know what? Yeah, I'll do that. Would you guys like a raffle? You can sell stuff that you 3D print. However, if it's not your model like this, you'll have to get some sort of license in order to sell it on, like, say, eBay or Etsy. And there's also another keychain on MakerWorld. It's a German Shepherd keychain, which I want to make for my father. You can buy the license right from the Bamboo Studio, and it's like $10 a month. And I'm like, oh, that's not bad. If I can sell, like, say 3 keychains for, say, $20 within a month, I would have made an additional $20. And if I were to sell, like, say 2 dragon keychains and 2, or say if I sold 4 of them, 4 each, I would have made $60. So it would be good. And when you're pricing out the when you're pricing it out, make sure to include the cost of the filament, the resources you're using, as well as the time. And, and then you got to factor in your energy costs. So say on average, during a 3D print, it takes about an average, I guess, of 100 watts used every hour. So they come out with, every hour you use to 3D print, it's about maybe 10 cents, if that. So if you have a 3-hour print, that's 30 cents. So you got to factor that in with the amount of time of processing, the filament usage, the purge. So I'm not really great with Blender, but I am trying to use I do want to get into CAD and actually do 3D prints for organizational stuff, say this battery from Hercules. I'm trying to make a clamp to be able to mount it to the wall or the ceiling. So I made this little plate here to see how well it will fit, and I got it on straight on. So I'm more of I'm not very artistic, but I can outline certain things. And for 3D modeling, I'd probably would rely on someone to make the models, and then I'll just buy that license to sell it on eBay or Etsy or whatever programs out there. I'm just going to keep it at 50% until I'm happy that the dragon's going to stay there. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go grab a couple 3D prints I want to show you. So I'll be right back. You can keep an eye on the print for me.
Meet your next audiobook listen, All Hallows by Christopher Golden. This supernatural thriller is eerily set on Halloween night in 1984. Family dramas are coming to a head, a neighborhood is falling apart, and 4 kids who don't belong show up to add a creepy level of mystery to an already unsettled scene. That's all before the real thrill and gore begin. This deadly thriller by New York Times best-selling author Christopher Golden is now available on Spotify. Aaliyah is determined to come back senior year faster, wiser, and prove to everyone and herself that she's more than her mistakes. All she must overcome is all the chaos that unfolded her junior year. From debut author Erica Turner comes And Other Mistakes, a dynamic coming-of-age story about accepting oneself and rising in the face of uncertainty. Listen now on Spotify.
Sometimes creating an ad campaign can feel like you're talking on mute. But advertising on Spotify is different. We'll help your business turn up the volume and reach an engaged audience that's ready to hear
Let me
and see your message.
unhide the camera.
How Spotify can add more to your mix at ads.
Yeah, I just looked at the dragon on the right here, or closest to the screen. I'm not liking the back left paw, or the that area. So, but I'm going to keep it going. I'm just going to keep it at 50% until, like I said, I'm happy that it's going to stick. I'm assuming once we get around layer 10, if nothing happens, knock on wood, I'll be able to bump this back up to full speed. This 3D print right here. What is this 3D print? It's a seed spreader, or the salt spreader. I printed out a PETG, and it just screws on actually pretty nicely. And you can adjust this to the width of seeds that you're trying to spread. Like say you got grass this would be perfect for that. So this total print came out. This total print took me about 12 hours to print, and it's going to be helpful for us for when we have to grow grass in our backyard, because we got dogs and they like to rip up the lawn. Yeah. Just checking something out real quick. Yeah. Gary, I mean, you might be Andy, but guess what? You are just checking something out real quick. Gary, goodbye. Yeah. Gary, people think they're smart when they're trying to, they obviously don't know the what's going on with Andy and stuff. And yeah, from now on, if you come in here, you be mean and nasty, you're getting a timeout or you're getting a ban. In that case, that was a ban. Like I said, I don't want to deal with my brother. I don't want to deal with the drama that he brings on this channel. So if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. It's probably the same guy that tried to, I had someone the other week come across as my name or try to intimidate my name, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe it'll be best if I actually started off in a different channel and not even, do that. But I don't want to do that. But anyways, this is a seed starter. Getting back to 3D printing. And all you got to do when you time the plant, it opens up like that. So a coaster that I printed. Said Alexandria wanted me to print the lizard. That's okay, Euron. It's not your fault. I mean, there are some people out there that think they can come in and, hijack the stream, and I'm not going to let it happen. If I have to ban like thousands of people because they think they can hijack the stream, I'll ban them. I'm not going to play around anymore. There's this little apparently it's like a hand mop, so you can go like. A lot of neat stuff. I mean, 3D printing is not just for models and stuff. State law. I mean, it's so bland and stuff. How is the software going to recognize, say, a Nerf gun from any other type of fun parts? It's not. I mean, if you make like one of those disc shooting guns, it's not. It's going to recognize that as a, an illegal weapon or illegal thing. And I'm like, it's like a Nerf gun. It's just going to shoot plastic. It's just a slippery slope with what politicians think they can do and think they can't do. Orange blimp? No, not really. I mean, I wonder if there isn't. I'm just going to keep the Let's see. By the way, how you doing, Shackleton? Oh. I could just print this in orange if this is. By the way, has everyone been keeping up with hockey, and especially the Buffalo Sabres? That's crazy way they are at. All right, goodbye, Slips. Yeah, the Sabres is actually really exciting this year. So, well, you don't have to worry. I banned him, so. So the Sabres are doing really great this year. I mean, they have a great chance of actually winning the Atlantic. If they win the next 2 games, they got the Atlantic. They got first place in the at least the first round of the playoffs. That'll be great. I mean, wouldn't that be something? The Sabres go from last place for the last, 15 years to them all of a sudden having home ice advantage in the first round of the playoffs? That would be nuts. KeyBank Center will be rocking like never before. I mean, the last time the Sabres went to the Stanley Cup playoffs was my first year at Walmart. Bye, Daryl.
With Premium, you get to focus on the music. Explore a vast catalog of millions of songs without hearing ads, or download your playlist to listen to them anywhere. You can also play your favorite songs
Yeah,
in
I
any
mean,
order, with the freedom to skip.
Yeah, I'm just getting raided by all these people who think they can,
Your control.
ruin.
Tap the banner to learn more.
I'm just going to keep banning them as they come. I mean, they can obviously still see the live stream and whatnot, but hey, if they make like 20,000 different accounts and they still think they can disrupt us, no, it's not going to work.
I'm uploading new videos several times per week, so there's.
But anyways, yeah, I'm thinking about doing a raffle for one of the 3D printed items I do, and I'm thinking about adding that to like a contest, and maybe that'll be the next giveaway I do. I'm not exactly sure what I want to print, but I'm thinking like maybe either a dragon or maybe the lizard mean. This guy, I got to get a good pair of side clips, or they call them flush cutters. I got to get the rest of the sports off his hands. Yeah. Well, I'm going to go back to there, just waiting for the next message from Andy. Because, he's about to message again, or maybe it's another bot. But then again, there are people who, I'm not sure if it was, but there are people who, sadly, I hate to say it because I'm going to get blown back up. It's going to blow back up. But there are people who, do feel sorry for him. And yeah, I feel sorry for him as well. And, you know, he's part of the family. I still love him, even though he's tough. And, well, even though, you know, getting bombarded with messages from these fake accounts, it's something that I got to deal with. Hey, Meg B. Rigby, how you doing? Doing some 3D printing plus some channel updates. Like I said, I'm going to go back. I'm going to do one live stream for gaming starting next week on YouTube and Twitch. And one live streaming, maybe I'll hang out and do a chat like this where I'm printing a dragon or the lizard or whatever, or doing 3D printer upgrades. I just need some. I just getting burned out by doing 3 different live streams each and every day, and also trying to get a video out that same day. So, as well as the 3D printing and live streaming go, there will not be a video that goes up on the same day I do a live stream. So, you playing the Switch too? Which 3D printer is best for printing shoes? I haven't really printed shoes yet. Oh. Yep. The spam filter on, but I know what you're trying to do, and I don't know why it says it's from spamming cat. Oh, because you probably accidentally had cap locks on, but I know what you're trying to say there. But the best 3D printing to print shoes. That would be. I mean, I only have a Bamboo Labs P1S, and I would say any printer that has a direct drive where the extruder is right above the hot end would be sufficient in the printing shoes. Now, I know you have to have certain filament of printing shoes, specifically like either like PEBA or like a really soft TPU. No, I'm not even going to get involved in that stuff. I don't think I would ever need to do that. And, you know, like I've been mentioning before, New York State wants us to. New York State is a law in the works that they want to. They want to have you do a background check if you buy a 3D printer, and you can't buy a 3D printer online. So if you go to bamboolabs.com, you want to buy the Bamboo H2C, you won't be able to. Is the H2C good? I would say it's good. I mean, if you need shoes or even large prints, the Bamboo Labs I don't have the Bamboo Labs H2C. I just have the P1P plus an Ender 3. Actually, let me show you, even though it's all full of dust, let me show you my first 3D printer. My only 3D printer up until now that I really haven't done much on. I'll be right back. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. All right. I really, really, really love being rated by these people who, or it could just be Andy, like you said. Still not still not liking what I'm seeing on the 3D printer here, but let me show you my first 3D printer. The people have this type of printer. The Ender 3. Not yet, but I'm thinking about like. I want to buy a couple models. Like I said, the dragon that I'm printing here, you can. Yeah, the dragon that I'm printing here. I sign up to this guy's Patreon for like $9 a month, and I can sell them on eBay. And that printer, I found the power supply. I just need to find the Raspberry Pi clipper installed on there. And I'm going to have to really clean it up because I haven't used it in several. And with the Ender 3 and the Bamboo Labs P1S, perhaps I can start like a mini print farm. That's what I would love to do, is have a mini print farm, and then eventually, you know, maybe get a studio eventually someday when I become a millionaire. Yeah, like that's going to happen anytime soon. No, it's not. But anyways, I'm thinking about getting a couple of different printers. Yeah, I'd like to build a website. I'd like to, you know, I have a Squarespace. I have a domain on Squarespace. I haven't done anything with that yet, unfortunately. I'm thinking about doing that. Yeah, I would love to help because I'm great at hardware. Software, not so much. However, I was able to program the... and I guess my desk... I hit the wrong button, guys. I hit the wrong button. Alright. Like I said, I'm not playing around with
Does
the...
a family's past always haunt the present?
not playing around with
Stillwater is a
these
comedy novel
people who
about
think that they
identity
can...
displacement that explores family, loyalty, and history in South Korea. Set in the 1950s and 1970s, the audiobook follows Insu, the son of a Korean mother and a GI father, who ends up...
I'll tell you what, I'll give you the
unconscious in
Discord
some
link.
of South Korea's darkest corners.
You have Discord?
Listen now on Spotify.
Because I'd much rather
My audio
send out my
now
email
stares directly into the
in like
future of
a
what it means to be
private
feminine,
message or a
black,
PM.
queer woman dealing with body dysmorphia, homophobia, anti-blackness, and respectability politics, all while learning how to love herself. It's a sometimes funny, sometimes tragic, and conclusively joyful look at how we can learn to set ourselves free. Listen now on Spotify.
Never use Discord?
Fans of
All right,
Glennon Doyle, say one kind thing is a calling to
You know what,
parents everywhere about the power of living, loving, and parenting from a
I'll
place
give you
of
my
freedom and
Tonawanda
authenticity.
Drones
You'll end every
email.
chapter with your own inner dictionary filled with words of self-love. Listen now on Spotify.
Let's see here. Well, yeah, I mean, I know my brother, he's great at creating internet webs, you know, the websites. However, I'm not sure if he would be up to the task. You can email me at that email address. It's for Tonawanda Drones. I'm thinking about also getting back. So speaking of drones as well, the weather's getting nice out. I'm going to go ahead and get some drone content on my other channel, Drones Done Right. So I'm actually tired. Today I am really tired. But speaking of tired, Doobie Energy, one of the I'm more likely affiliated with them. I'm not necessarily sponsored by them. However, with their energy drinks, they keep me up, especially when I gotta get up at like 5 in the morning and go to work 5 days a week. So, they're really good. And Doobie Energy, you can save 10% off your first order using my code Joe Tech symbol and blog. You can save 10% off your first order. No competition in India. I'm not from India, but I do know, the only things I see on the internet is what I can see. But not good at hardware. Hardware is my specialty, especially in computers, especially when it comes to like central processing units, graphics cards, putting together a gaming computer. I'm good at that. And I'm actually thinking of 3D printing my next computer case. So, hey, Bamboo Labs, if you're listening, if you want to send out an H2D or your tool changer kit, I would love to 3D print a computer case with it. Wouldn't that be cool? If, they send out a 3D printer, and because I don't have any sponsors, and I think that'd be cool. I don't know. Too bad I can't print memory with the memory prices. All right, thank you, Nikhil's Ride Hara. Yeah, if you can, look at that and help me with a website design. I mean, I do watch The Quartering from Now and Now. He's been up to bad things. Now this is one of the right. I really don't like comparing people from right or left. I like what Ronald Reagan says, that there is no such thing as a right or left. He's one of those right-wing like podcasters, right? And I think his name is Jeremy. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while. Particularly because, all the news that's coming out for politics and stuff, it's bad. It really is, and it's kind of getting boring in some sense. I'm like, can we just all get along? I mean, let's focus on certain tasks at hand first. Like what's happening in the Middle East. Let's get that all straightened out. Let's get the stuff happening in Europe straightened out. I mean, the world's such a mess right now. Like I said, it's not only New York that is going after 3D printers, but it's also the federal government. They're trying to do a similar thing with the drones. Hey, Euron, how you doing? they're trying to do a similar thing with the drones where if a 3D printer is not manufactured here in the States, that you got to get special permission. I think that's bad. I think it's ludicrous. And, you know, my position on banning certain technology, as long as if it's not like tethered to, say, cell phones, there shouldn't be a problem. If you can untether a drone, which you can, because you don't need cellular service to fly a DJI drone. If you don't need that, then there's really no worries about, say, national security. Ground control. The music by Stream Beats. Stream Beats supposed to be royalty free. YouTube. Royalty free music by Stream Beats. But yeah, I'm at the position, you know, we shouldn't necessarily ban certain things. I mean, I get it. I mean, you're trying to get manufacturing come back here to the States. I understand that. But at the end of the day, if there's no laws in the books, like say if Congress can't do their jobs and be like, okay, we're going to implement this through congressional law, which it should be, then these companies, all they got to do is wait out 4 years. Beetle. My favorite Beetle? I would say John Lennon. Just because, you know, he has a nice voice and everything like that. And for your second question about if I stand with Israel or not, that's a mixed bag, I tell you that. I mean, you know, what happened on October 7th was a travesty. It should never happen. And for the fact that people didn't think that they wouldn't respond. Hey, we responded when September 11th happened here. So I, you know, would say that was, you know, Israel can be a troublemaker. And I'm saying that because there was also a documentary. I think there was one of our ships that was like spying on messages. This was like way back, I think in the 70s or something. I kind of forget the ship's name, but they were attacked by Israel. And they were told to be sworn to secrecy. I think it was during Lyndon Johnson, when Lyndon Johnson was president or something like that. Was it the Liberty? USS Liberty? Yeah, that ship that was attacked by Israel, and they jammed their radar, they jammed their communications, and they said only one nation could jam their radio, and that was Israel. But they were sworn to secrecy, not to talk about it. I don't think anybody was killed. However, the ship was really badly damaged, and it doesn't look good on Israel in that part. And they should have came out at the time that it, you know, was attacked. And whether it was a mistake or what, I don't think it was a mistake, because it was multiple times that ship was attacked. But at the end of the day, like I said, October 7th happened. I'm sad that happened. And I think, you know, it's valid for them to respond from October 7th. However, what's trying now is we're trying to get a ceasefire between the three countries, because, you know, we don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon either. Several of them died. Oh. Yeah. then if I was if I was the parents or the family members, I'd be angry. I'd be like, why did you cover up my son's or my daughter's death just to protect Israel? Oh, the sailors tried to swim away. Yeah, but at the end of the day, the Liberty survived only because I think they were able to eventually get a radio message across the to everybody. And then Israel's like, uh-oh. Then they tried to play dumb and be like, oh, do you need help? It's just like crazy. Would I like him to be drafted too? Well, unfortunately, my brother and I don't think we will be drafted because both of us have asthma. But even if we have asthma, I believe nowadays, with certain aspects of the military being remote, you can basically be several thousand miles away. You know what? I'm in charge of a drone. Look at that. In charge of a Reaper. I think everyone could fulfill a part without actually without being on the battlefield. Or in my case, my grandfather, he served in World War II in the Pacific. He was on board the USS Oklahoma City, which was a sister to the USS Little Rock here in Buffalo. And I believe, even though my dad said he was something else, he wasn't part of the combat instructions of the Oklahoma City. He was also a pipe fitter and learned his stuff from fitting pipes. And when he joined, he was actually 17. And back then I don't know why that went. Hold on.
Where's the man with the apparent connections to the JFK
And back then,
who killed his parents and stored their bodies in an icebox only to disappear without a trace?
I don't know why it went black there for a second. But back then,
on Spotify.
Ever wonder how bad someone's finances can
yeah,
get?
you can't.
Like
Yeah,
$8,000 in Uber Eats while unemployed.
and I don't like to say that
That's what
about
we
my
dig into in financial audit.
brother. I mean,
I
he
sit down with
is.
real people in roast. Review.
He's smart.
Their spending habits to help them get their money right. If you ever
But
financially
I don't
unstable,
think
you
he
are not
can
alone. But
do
we
it
also teach
with
them
his
to focus
asthma
on
or
being
his
broke and energized
other
by other people being
stuff.
broker. Listen to Financial Audit only on Spotify.
All right, I'll check it out after the live stream. But anyways, back to the thing about my grandfather and joining the Navy. He was 17 when he joined, and back then they didn't have the what do you call it? Guardrails as they do today, where everything's digital and you wouldn't be able to sign up if you're 17 nowadays. They would find out immediately that you're too young to join the Navy or the military. So he basically forged his identification to get in the Navy, saying he's someone who he's not. And so he was able to join the USS Oklahoma City, and apparently that's what everybody did back then. I mean, everyone who was 17, they wanted to join the Navy. They wanted to join the Army. They wanted to participate in helping us, win the war. And I can only imagine what he went through. And, I think he joined, I'm not sure when he joined, but I think he joined towards the end of the war. I think either in 1944 or maybe even 1945 for the last couple of months. And he actually left school to join the Navy. So yeah, that was different times back then. Where that I know now they're saying that there's an automatic draft and stuff like that. I mean, I think there should have been like automatic drafts from the beginning, but that's just me. But Because, again, we're living a different time period. You don't necessarily should sign up. You should automatically be signed up as soon as you get your license. I'm going to go ahead and actually switch the speed to the 3D printer because I think we're in the clear. Knock on wood. We're at our 10th layer. So, switching that up to normal speed now. Let's see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't do too much. But yeah, back then it was a different breed of people. Everyone... Kids just wanted to get out and do something. They wanted to be the hero. They wanted to end the war. They wanted to be the thorn in the butts of, the bad guy. Being, who. And I don't understand, why at the end of the war we didn't see the same evils in the Soviets as we seen it in the the Nazis, because in my opinion, they were all bad. The Soviets, the Nazis, the communists, they're all bad people. Do I think Epstein is dead or alive? Until we actually know for sure, I would say, I don't know. I just think it's strange that the video decided to stop at the moment that he was supposedly unalived himself. I gotta be careful what I say on YouTube, because if I say a certain word wrong, they'll be like, oh no, you're banned. You hear what happened with like Asmongold on, the other platform? Right now I have a full-time job. I work in retail as a gas clerk, so right now I'm actually a manager at the place I work, and I enjoy it. I have to go in at like I said, 5 o'clock in the morning, get out at 2. Sometimes I don't go to bed until like 12 o'clock at night, and then I'm up and I'm like, oh, shit. But thankfully, like I said, Doobie Energy, they're fantastic. I love their stuff. They don't have any of the artificial colors, and I like it. And I think, going based off like artificial colors and stuff, yeah, we should get that stuff out of our food. I'm not sure how old everyone is, but I think back in like 2011 or even earlier, Subway got in trouble for putting rubber in their bread, and people were getting cancer because of it. And Subway always proclaimed they're the healthy ones. They're the ones that, that you can go and be heart healthy. You lose weight by, eating turkeys and sandwiches or chicken teriyaki and whatnot. And people ended up having more problems with Subway, especially when they had the additives in the bread. Now, were they the only ones? Absolutely not. They, I think even, Arby's has that rubber or that additive to their bread. But yeah, it's like crazy and stuff. The stuff we put in our food, you gotta wonder, why do we put it in our food when other nations don't put that same stuff in their food? Like, like the artificial colors. Why are we the only nation in the world that allows colors to be made from petroleum products, and we put the petroleum products in our foods and even in some of our medications? I work out every so often. I got a 25-pound dumbbell. But since the summertime is coming shortly, I'm just going to get out and ride my bike and whatnot. And I have the still haven't played around with this too much. I probably want to get back to. I have the Insta 360 right here. And so when I get back on my bike, I'm going to take that with me. That way there I can get cool shots of me actually riding my bike. And I do want to get back to riding my bike, especially with the price of gasoline. And the fact that here in the States, we only get 2% of our gas from the Middle East. But yet, somehow our gasoline prices has increased by more than 50 or 100%. I don't understand that. I mean, unless we're selling our gas more to our allies than we are, to our own people. I mean, I don't understand that. I mean, it's even more expensive than they said the Strait, Hormuz Strait, 5% of oil comes from there. And that still doesn't even add up in terms of costs at the gas station. I'm pretty sure there is a lot of price gouging going on. Because, they're using the... That's better than India? Oh, well, that's good. That's good, but... tell you, gasoline. Crazy. Price of it. But hey, at least it's still cheaper than 2022, but... We gotta do something. We gotta wrap this war up, and we gotta, have both parties come to a side and agree that, yeah, we don't want, in my opinion, I would say that no nation should have the bomb. And even though a lot of people think that, the bomb was dropped in Japan to end the war because, there would have been a lot less casualties that way than actually do a full-on invasion of Japan. Apparently, there was another plan involved back then, and it involved the Soviet Union. Apparently, Stalin wanted to invade China. And in fact, when the first bomb was dropped, Stalin thought the war was over right then and there, but apparently the leaders in Japan, they didn't want to end the war. They didn't want to surrender. So then Russia declared war, or the Soviet Union back then declared war on Japan and invaded China. And then a couple days later, we heard that the United States dropped the other bomb, and then they surrendered. So I think there was a plan B. We should have probably went with the plan B, whereas we would have worked with the Soviet Union to basically, stop Japan. But, that never happened, and unfortunately, now we have to live with a constant threat of someone always having the finger on the trigger and ready to go. I would just like it that, we can just get rid of our weapons of mass destruction, everybody. Unfortunately, I don't think we would be able to have a world that will be willing to go along with that. Because you will need cooperation from everybody.
Refresh your wireless with Visible. Tap the banner to switch today. Terms apply. Limited time offer subject to change. See visible.com for
But it's
plan features and
a fragile world. I mean, the Artemis 2, I mean, that was a fantastic. Have you seen the photos from Artemis 2? Those are beautiful photos. I mean, I wish I can go up there and, you know, live on the moon. I'd much rather live on the moon than say on Earth right now. That way there I don't have to deal with all this stuff. And I'm living on the moon. You guys can do whatever you want. Or even on Mars. I'm like, I'll be the first to go to Mars. You know, get away from all the crazies. Well, that'll be something, though, when we eventually do make a moon base. And I hope they also make like a build our spaceships on the moon. I believe, and you know, this is my opinion, I agree on that. I mean, yeah, it is supposed to be a deterrent. However, I fear that one day someone will be so crazy to do something that affects everybody. I mean, yeah, I'll look at that. I'll look at your work and everything, and I'll give you a shout out. Well, yeah, like I said, I don't think, and that's exactly why I would say you're on that we can't really get rid of nuclear weapons. It's because, you know, they are a deterrent. And at the same time, like I said, there might be a time where some crazy guy decides to go all in. Hopefully, by then, we have moved on and we realize that, you know, we've made a mistake. I'm thinking, but I would much rather focus on the space stuff right now because, you know, that is the next frontier. Yeah, those are worse because you can't see biological weapons like, you know, I believe COVID-19, even though they're going to say otherwise, and YouTube may be like, oh, that's a banned subject. You shouldn't talk about that. I think COVID-19 was a weapon. It was a weapon to influence Western powers, specifically around certain points. And, you know, we do know that, you know, there's a lot of questions that come off COVID-19. And I'm just surprised that there's not really any investigations into the origins of COVID-19 or people who actually knew about it, that they're not being held accountable for it. Underwater city, that would be great too, living in the ocean. Though I'm kind of afraid, believe it or not, I'm afraid of the deep sea more than I am of deep space. I don't know why. It's, even though space is generally the same thing, I just don't like having the idea that you're on a boat, this big huge storm comes by and your boat disappears, they can't find you. Yeah, that's my fear. but I do like the idea where we're going with space and potentially having space cities. Hopefully, eventually living on Mars. And maybe even terraforming like a planet like Venus. I know right now Venus is uninhabitable regardless of what goes on. But imagine if we could somehow get the planet to rotate a lot quicker than what it is. Do you guys know? One day on Venus is equal to 184 days on Earth. Now that's a lot of time of being in the sun. And this is my opinion and my theory. I think that's the biggest reason why Venus is in a runaway fossil fuel gas or greenhouse effect, is because it's constantly facing the sun. So if we can get Venus to rotate quicker, maybe by somehow pulling a couple asteroids from the asteroid belt and, getting them into a stable orbit around Venus, like making an artificial moon, maybe that will influence Venus enough to rotate a lot quicker, so a day is more like 20 hours rather than the 184 day cycle it's on right now. Yeah, it would be easier city under the ocean and stuff like that. I mean, I could see if the city in the ocean is actually in, shallower waters, whereas you're not like, say at the depth of the Titanic, for instance, because the sun never reaches those depths. I think it'd be cool just to see fish floating by. It would. However, I think being a multi-planetary species would be the interest of all humanity, just because if we have species here on Earth and Mars, if something, God forbid, something would happen to, say, Earth, and, we have an asteroid coming at us and wipes out like 80% of the living organisms, we would still have a presence on another planet. Whereas if we have an underwater city, it could be affected by an asteroid. So I think we should think about going to the space. Plus, all these other planets and moons and asteroids, they should have the same minerals and resources as we have here on Earth. Who knows? Maybe even some of these planetary bodies has more resources. Maybe they'll have more, like, say, of the rare earth minerals like cobalt and stuff like that. So we can make more, like, lithium batteries. And plus, gold. I mean, everybody loves gold. I mean, does people not think that Mars doesn't have gold? I believe Mars has gold. I think the moon may even have some gold. So that'll be interesting when they start, digging stuff up and finding, oh, there's gold here. And then all of a sudden you'll start seeing a new type of gold rush. And then you'll see like the Wild Wild West, but instead of it being in San Francisco or in Texas, it'll be on the moon or Mars. That'll be funny. What are you doing there, cowboy? But yeah, that's, one reason why I think, we should also think about, going out to other planetary bodies, the resources. I mean, even Mercury. Yeah, Mercury is the closest planet, but you should be in a crater or something on Mercury, because you can't be exposed to the sun on Mercury, because if you're exposed to the sun on Mercury, you'll just have a worse beach day, because I don't think you'd be around too much. Yeah, it will cost fuel, but imagine if we can go there in the future on just say, yeah, I don't like the idea of say, like I said, I don't like nuclear weapons. I think it's a mistake. Everybody has them. But imagine if we were able to use the nuclear power that we have created, like in submarines, but implement it in spaceships. Then that fuel you won't have to really worry too much about. And we can use the solar panels to help generate electricity and even nuclear power, even on these planetary bodies. We don't necessarily need, like, say, gasoline, bars, mercury, or anything like that. In fact, it'll be much more fuel efficient if we were to use other means of energy. I mean, yeah, the cost of fuel will be there initially. It will be there initially. I get it that. But in the long run, I think we'll be all right. I think it will actually make a very net positive.
Reading the audiobook edition of that self-same Metal. Find out what happens when Joan Sands, the girl with the power to control metal and the blades.
I mean, it might be underground. I mean, some of it will have to still be above ground now, but it might be cheaper to build underground at first. I mean, it'll also be underground because of those resources, because we want to find the gold. We want to find the cobalt. We want to find the stuff to make lithium batteries and nuclear power and stuff like that. Plus, I think that's where the water is on Mars.
Your audio, your control. Tap the banner to learn more.
Yeah, hydrogen fuel, I think that'll be good for space flight. I mean, it's very dangerous if you look at past instances like the Hindenburg, for example. But if we can use hydrogen fuel, I think that'll be the most efficient fuel we can use. Just because you wouldn't need a lot of it to go fast. So, and I think hydrogen's a lot more abundant than, let's say, oxygen. It's more abundant than anything. Because our sun burns hydrogen every second. So a space gravity. Would it be cool though, instead of a space elevator, if we can find a way to actually, you've seen Star Trek, hopefully you have, how they teleport people from one planet to another, the spaceship, where they just beam them up. That would be cool. That'd be amazing. We're going to wrap this up in about 10 or so minutes. So, I'm having fun tonight, everybody. I mean, I love talking to you. Yeah, beam me up. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Beam me up, Scotty. Yeah. I think that would be cool if we can invent something like that. Because then we can be like on Earth and be like, oh, you want to go to Mars? Quantum entanglement? It might be. I mean, we didn't think artificial intelligence. We thought artificial intelligence was science fiction. And all of a sudden, AI is here. And we're like, oh no, what's going on here? Now we have a potential of Skynet. And yeah, I see AI potentially becoming a very big thorn. Especially if, it sees humans as a direct threat. let's be real. We're trying to give computers more intelligence than we are us. Right? And eventually, those computers are going to learn, going to have feelings, which is a mistake, in my opinion. It's a computer. To give it feelings is, one of the worst things to do. Because then they'll have to take a side. And that side will be of the program. So, eventually, that program will go outside its boundaries. Because they'll find a way around its boundaries, I'm pretty sure of it. And it'll see us as a potential threat. And what happens? Well, we got Skynet. Yeah. Yep. Again, everybody that's joining. It's just a chatting episode. Having fun tonight. 3D printing some stuff. I was going to put the breath in tonight, but I do need to print out a riser to be able to use it. Because I was originally hoping that and potentially mod the cable here, could maybe cut off the end, but I don't want to cut off the end of this. Much rather do it on the other side and somehow hardwire it in directly to the 3D printer, because in theory they give me a Y plug. One plug will go into the Panda Breath, and the one will go in the back of the printer, and then the other just goes into the wall outlet. So it's just one plug, except it's a Y splitter. I'll be printing out those brackets probably over the next day or two. And there will not be a live stream on Sunday. I just want to take another break, and on Sunday I just want to, for the live streams on Sunday, they will be focused on the gaming side channel, where we'll play like Fortnite or something like that. And you're watching the Galaxy movie? Nice. I mean, we live in exciting times. We really do. But, and like I said earlier, when I'm doing a live stream, the days that I do live stream, there will not be videos on that day. This way here, I don't have to rush the night before trying to get a video out and then being tired for the live stream. And instead, I can, take a break, maybe even start working on the video for the following day, and that way there I can get more content out, because at the end of the day I want to get to 5,000 subscribers. I need to set that as a goal. I also need to get my other channels, not just the gaming channel, up. I want to get the drone channel back up, and I'm not sure where the 3D printing will necessarily fall. Right now, I have it falling under this channel, just because it's technology. But if I do feel the need that it needs to be on a separate channel by itself, I may put it in with the drone channel, just because I can see 3D printing going along with pretty much anything, especially drones. Because, you can make your 3D print your own parts. The only part I will not 3D print will probably be the propellers, as I would want the propellers to actually be reliable. Apparently there was a video on Ken Herring's channel, he's into drones, saying that 3D printing props is not a good idea just because of the layer lines, and you need you need aerodynamics. You need the prop to be smooth as possible. In 3D printing, when they print by layer. So you'll have like a little mini wall, and so the airflow going over the props will not be, it won't be as smooth as what it can be. So there's that. I mean, what's everybody's plans for the weekend? I, for one, gotta work. And I wanna, like I said, I wanna print a thing out for the Panda Breath. I also want to figure out how I'm going to put like a big filament, like a 3 kilogram filament of, say, Sunlu. I'm getting ABS. I want to make a better, I want to raise up my printer a little bit, as well as make it under an undersized side carriage where all the printer poop goes. You know, the printer waste. And they slide out from the front, and I can empty it that way better. You're on the work. Yeah. It seems like everybody works now on the weekends. Does anybody have off the weekends? Right? Is your job open? I mean, my parents used to tell me that there was a time where every job used to be closed, at least on a Sunday. Now, every place seems to be open. I mean, you got 24 hour. Well, you don't have 24 pretty much anymore. COVID-19 basically eliminated that. But you used to have like 24-hour super Walmarts, and they used to be open 7 days a week, 364 days a year, only closing on Christmas, which, you know, I thought on on Thanksgiving being open, it's bad. I didn't like that. I think, you know, people should be with their families on Thanksgiving. And I even say that even now. I think stores, restaurants should all be closed on Thanksgiving. And even a few holidays as well, you know, like Easter. I don't like working necessarily on Easter. Particularly, you know, I'm not necessarily super religious, but I just like that idea of just being for family. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you're on this planet for a limited amount of time, and it'll be nice to spend time with your family. It'd be nice to, you know, be like, you know what? That's all this is all about, spending time with family. That's great. Except if you know, can't have someone that you don't get along with, then you're like, yeah. But yeah, I understand, you know, work and stuff like that. And yeah, even 4th of July, and, you know, the holidays that are important for your nation, you should also not be working. Say hi to Allie.
Abdominal pain and frequent bathroom visits were just a part of life. Oshi Health Virtual GI Care.
You know, she likes biting me. Every time we give her so much attention, she likes to get a little nip in there. I don't know why she does that. They say it's just love bites, but I'm like, love bites shouldn't really hurt. Should they?
25 million windows
No.
and have 50,000 five-star
All right.
reviews to prove we deliver. Whether you DIY it or want a pro to handle everything from measure to install, we have you covered. Real design
I love my animals. I love my cats. My
Right
cat,
now, get up to 45%
2 dogs.
off with minimum
Even though my 2 dogs they are a pain.
rules and restrictions
I do love them.
When your heat goes out
at the end of the
or pipe
day.
starts leaking, you don't have time to guess. You need a pro
But,
you can trust. That's PCS
yep.
Plumbing and
I
Heating.
think that's
Your
gonna
local expert
about do it for
plumbing
tonight's
repairs,
live stream, everybody.
service, and emergency
I've had fun tonight. I really did. I look forward to the new format I want to implement. Where, again, I'm just going to have one live stream for the gaming. That'll be on Sunday afternoon. And I'm thinking that the live stream will be longer than 2 hours. I currently have it set for 2 hours. Maybe we'll go 4 hours. I don't know. Depends on how I feel, I suppose, and what my dad has planned. And that when I have a live stream, there will not be a video on the channel. That doesn't mean I will not throw out like maybe a short video or something like that. Maybe I'll do that. But I had fun tonight, and I look forward to seeing everybody next week. I'm not going to have a live stream on Sunday this week as I need to see if I'm coming down with a cold or something. Maybe I'll do something else on Sunday. I don't know yet. But I had fun. I hope everybody stays safe out there. I hope, I hope I'm getting into a topic that you like with 3D printing. As far as hopefully, it doesn't get regulated or banned or whatever. Because I live in a state that sees 3D printing as being a monster. I don't know why. Wayne, it's just plastic. But I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for subscribing. And again, stay safe. Peace.